Hello, this is AnlineOffline. Today we'll summarize the Season 8 patch notes for COD Mobile 2025, along with other news. Remember last season when the Korean branch made a typo that the USS would get a nerf to its bullet speed? Well, it happened this season. That and no stock no longer improves base movement speed, but it still helps with strafing. Perhaps the USS is slightly less reliable at range, but that doesn't solve the main issue, that is its 41 Action Express ammo conversion. It's one thing to have a 2-shot headshot potential. It's one thing to improve its 3-shot potential. It's one thing to offer more range. But it shouldn't do all three. One of those has to go. Throw in a penalty for bullet speed or flinch, then maybe we can all just move on with the rest of the year. Black Ops 2's Type 25 got its 3rd buff this year and continued the trend of improving its body multipliers and bloom. The buff to its biceps isn't a big deal, as it already did 10% extra damage to the rest of the upper body. The more important buff was giving it a bloom on par with the KN-44. It also secretly received a slight buff to its horizontal recoil. This is the strongest version of the Type 25 that we've had in this game's history. Black Ops 4's Maddox got a buff to its 2nd and 3rd range. Now it's effective up to 35 meters without attachments. The forearm multipliers were buffed to deal 10% extra damage like the biceps and chest. If you can manage to hit those areas, you can extend its 4-shot potential into this buffed effective range. This also applies to 2 bursting with Echo Fire. Cold War's MG82 got a buff to its range and recoil. This new time to kill is still nothing special, but it's an improvement nonetheless. The recoil is much easier to mag dump with. The kick of each individual shot is pretty much halved, and it only changes directions 4 times instead of 6. However, there is an annoying bug that forcefully changes your aim shake settings when you hold it in your hand. Black Ops 2's Chicom seemingly got a minor buff to its 2nd range damage. However, this extra point of damage is enough to extend its 3-shot potential to its whole upper body due to its multipliers, matching the 1 burst range of the KSP while still being hit scan. It just might be the best burst SMGs for respawns now, or at least the most flexible. It doesn't have the range of the Hollowpoint CX-9, the output of the Burst Tech 9, or the mobility of either, but it has the capacity, suppressors, and accuracy to go on streaks without needing overkill. Cold War's Groza got a handful of buffs to its multipliers. The head and chest are now 50 and 30% extra respectively. A 3-shot potential is technically possible, but I wouldn't expect it. Mil-Spec isn't much help either, except for a 5-shot potential at long range with 1 headshot. The more important buff was to the reinforced barrel. It now increases damage to forearms, which makes its 4-shot potential at mid-range more reliable. 2019's ASVAL got buffs to 2 of its barrels. The mid-range barrel now offers 30% faster bullet speed and more range instead of 20. Being able to 4-shot up to 32 meters with a fast fire rate is impressive. The quick response barrel now increases your chest and forearm multipliers. A 3-shot potential is possible, but only from behind. A 5-shot potential is possible at long range, but you'll have to manage its recoil. Perhaps it has more use on its DMR conversion, but you'll need 1 shot to the chest and forearm to still 2-shot up to 75 meters. Like the Chicom, the RUS got a seemingly small damage buff with big returns. It's now a reliable 4-shot kill above the legs in the 2nd range without relying on its weak body multipliers. Cold War's MAC-10 got a buff to its base effective range, and now deals base damage to the stomach. It's now much more likely to achieve its expected time to kill. For the longest time, Black Ops 4's Outlaw had a reputation for being a hit marker machine at long range. That is no longer the case, as it can 1-shot to the entire arms and chest at any range, like the base Locust. Speaking of which, the Locust from Black Ops 3 and 4 got a long-awaited buff to its flinch. It no longer holds the title for worst flinch in the game when built for speed. That title now belongs to the DLQ, although this new Locust is not that far behind. I remember back in the day when Warzone fans would overrate the AMAX in this game, despite it having one of the worst damage drop-offs. That's not the case nowadays, because it's legit. It got a bloom buff, which made its initial shots more reliable. More importantly, it's no longer a 7-shot kill, and has a 5-shot potential at long range. As for M67, as long as you hit them once in the arm or chest, you can 2-tap up to 75 meters without range attachments. 2019's Kilo 1-for-1 got a handful of strong buffs. The marksman barrel and extended mags won't harm your ADS and movement speeds as much anymore. The 4 multipliers now deal 20% extra damage. Previously, you would have needed double headshots for a 3-shot potential, but now you can directly target the forearms. You also now have improved odds of getting its 4 and 5-shot potentials at mid and long range. Previously, the Kilo 1-for-1 was just a better M4. Now it's a more flexible HVK large caliber. You can't afford to hit the biceps, but you have a faster fire rate, more ammo, and softer recoil to work with. COD Online Striker Shotgun now shoots an extra 2 outer pellets to its spread. This makes it much more lethal. 1-shot hipfire kills in slide melee range, 2-shot kills in SMG range, 3-shot ADS kills in AR range. Honestly, it might be my new favorite shotgun to use. And last but not least, available in the challenge store, the M1 Garand now has a bayonet as an underbarrel attachment. It has a max range of 2.7 meters, which is the most of any melee weapon. And yes, this means it has almost as much range as the NA45 with Demo Expert. However, you have to be more precise with the hitbox, unlike other melee weapons. Moving on to operator skills. The Death Machine or Reaper's Scythe will now last 6 seconds less. I'm not gonna complain, as COD Mobile has the same issue as Black Ops 4 when it comes to favoring lethal specialists over support field upgrades. The collateral stun effect on Prophet's Tempest will now last 2 seconds instead of 5. This is fair, it got massive buffs last season. Seraph's Sack Deploy has gotten yet another buff and can revive all players 3 times instead of 2. The Havoc class got a buff to its radius. The only change to streaks this season is a nerf to the Cluster Strike. It's now 1 more kill to earn regardless of hardline. And finally, the Flash Strike will now detonate 1 second after drilling through a wall. So what are my thoughts on these balance changes? I'm a big fan, we got plenty of strong buffs this season, and it's a shame because it's overshadowed by the USS 9 again. I don't know about you guys, but I liked it better when metas lasted 3 months. The worst part is, it's been months since a ranked overhaul with loadout restrictions was teased. The real question is the USS nerf enough to turn our attention to the new gun? Unlocked at level 21 in the Battle Pass, the new gun this season is the long-awaited Ram 7 from Modern Warfare 2019. Like the MG82, it has the new movement animations. As far as first impressions go, it's like the Stopping Power Type 25 with more ammo and range, but worse hipfire and less mobility. I could see it being a top tier AR. Could it be the new best gun? We'll have to wait and see if the devs pull any shenanigans when the Mythic blueprint drops. But there is one issue. Like the MG82, there is a bug that forcefully changes your aim shake settings. For Season 9, it has been revealed by the official COD Mobile community manager that the next gun will be an SMG from COD World War II that's not the Thompson. And this just in, it's the Sten. Hopefully they don't change their mind in favor of Vanguard. Unlocked at level 14 in the Battle Pass, regular drill charges are now in this game to flush out campers. According to the showcase video, you can stop it prematurely by shooting it while it's drilling. Trophy systems can stop it when it's thrown, but not after it's drilled through a wall. These are the stats that I've been able to test. It may not be perfectly accurate, because you still can't stick people with them. It has the largest blast radius of any explosive in this game. It has a lethal radius comparable to the C4, and with Demo Expert, it's comparable to the Trip Mine with Demo. Remember last season when I mentioned that it would be better if there was a button to switch between your base loadout and your mode specifics? Well, it's finally here. One thing that you may have noticed is that there is a new headshot kill sound. Comment down below if you're a fan. Something that people aren't a big fan of is the fog in Alcatraz. I don't really play BR, so I can't judge if it's like Black Ops 4 or not. Something that has gotten quite a few people mad is the return of OG battle passes to the vault. Now, this channel is not about cosmetics, there are no shortage of others for that. To me, it's just a bunch of ones and zeros. The Sacred Cache got an update. There's a new teal camo to grind for called Psychotic Distortion that has replaced Ocean Waves. Speaking of camos, Dream Aurora is expected to return soon, even though Alchemy Stars shut down earlier this year. The free AK-47 from months ago will be replaced soon. It was expected that an FFAR would take its place, but instead, it'll be an RPD. The strange part is, instead of using an actual RPD skin, they're adding a Mastercraft that was meant for the Stoner 63. Since Warzone Mobile is no longer a priority, is there a chance that COD Mobile will get some recognition at COD Next later this month? Personally, I think Black Ops 7 could use the extra time. They have a lot to answer for. Earlier this year, it seemed like Zombies content would be delayed again to 2026. Now it seems that there is some hope. We'll just have to wait and see. It was announced that Activision is working with Paramount to produce a Call of Duty movie. We should all know at this point that on-screen adaptations of video games aren't known to be good or faithful. In theory, a Call of Duty movie could work. If it's Black Ops, I trust Christopher Nolan. If it's the original Modern Warfare, I trust Michael Bay. If it's World War II, I trust Steven Spielberg. Have Hans Zimmer do the soundtrack and it could work. But Spielberg was reportedly rejected on the grounds of not wanting to give him full control. If they can't get their games right, why should I expect any better for the big screen? Two wrongs don't make a right, and I'm not optimistic. But hey, that's just my opinion. It seems that we're all experiencing that pre-anniversary lull. It's important to note that TiMi Studios is also responsible for Delta Force. I wouldn't be surprised if they were too busy trying to brace for the impact that is the release of Battlefield 6 and to a lesser extent, Black Ops 7. Maybe I'll make a separate video covering those thoughts, maybe not because of the semester. My name is On, and I'm off.